PWNcast.
The first PWNcast of 2014. As always, I'm Danny, your wonderful host, and tonight I'm joined by a very special guest who works at Monster Energy.
I am here to bestow upon you a check for $10,000 for your video.
Give it up for Derek Hurd, ladies and gents.
I don't know what kind of accent that was, but okay.
And we're back after a very long and extensive break.
Monster, pay us money, please.
Yeah, Monster, please give us an endorsement. Please. We really like money.
It's some of the best tasting liquid I've ever put in my mouth, besides my cum.
What? I mean, it tastes just like turpentine. It's beautiful. I would know.
No, but
it's the reason why I make videos on the internet.
Monster's really good.
Yeah, I like Monster a lot. So, we haven't made a PWNcast in quite a long time. Since
we were on Christmas break.
Yeah, starting in October.
I'm a very religious person.
What did you do over your holiday break?
I prayed. For you, Danny.
You don't need to pray for me, buddy. I'm so far gone.
I'm beyond saving.
Yep, I am the Batman. The very, very fat Batman. No, but seriously, what did you do?
I worked a lot.
That's it? You didn't do anything with your family? Do you even have
are we talking about like specific like Christmas and New Year's, or just
sure.
like the time of holidays? Because if we're talking about the time of holidays, the majority of it was spent online shopping and working.
Did you get anything cool for Christmas?
I got you.
That's really weird. I don't like how you're getting really close to me right now. You're like putting Visine in your eyes. I don't really understand why. It's kind of creeping me out, man. You have a gun?
I got a microphone for my camera, which I'm sure you know all about.
Yeah, we've already put that to good use with the Call of Duty Ghosts video, which I hope more people watch that, because that opening is just... I haven't got a single comment yet that knows the reference to that, of what movie we're referencing. But then again, I think that's kind of a good thing.
It's very ambiguous, though. It's not like...
Yeah, it's not a famous movie
scene.
scene.
Lighter and it's Godzilla, everybody.
Yeah, it's the shitty Roland Emmerich Godzilla guys.
The best Godzilla.
No.
As far as production quality.
You remember... No, I'll disagree with you on that.
I don't know, man. It's one of those 60s movies, man.
Well, I showed you that part in Godzilla Final Wars where they summon the Godzilla from the Emmerich movie immediately, and then it just promptly gets destroyed by the real Godzilla in one hit. It's so beautiful.
I got the microphone for my camera. I got a stabilizer for my camera, which I guess for my camera. I got a hard drive for my computer, some clothes. A homeless man now lives in my attic.
You have an attic?
Yeah, you know, everyone has an attic.
I don't have an attic.
You also live in a high-rise
van down by the river.
Yeah.
With free Wi-Fi from the McDonald's right next to said river. That's how I upload all these podcasts.
So, what did you get for Christmas Day?
Tears. Lots of tears.
My mother got you something.
Yeah, actually, your mom was very nice to give me a $10 gift card to Chili's, which we all know that you definitely wouldn't go with me to Chili's for unspecified reasons. He's got a weird paranoia with like fajitas and nachos for some reason. I don't get it. It's fucking weird. But yeah, I got some clothes. I got a gift card, $10 gift card to Chili's from your mom. And then I bought myself some stuff like comic books and things like that. And my dad came down. He was like, "Hey, let's go to Universal for 2 days." So I got to ride Revenge of the Mummy 7 times in a row. And I have to say that is the most metal ride out of the entire park.
I always liked the Hulk. Except the surprise was like told to me before I got on it, which really upset me.
Which it just suddenly accelerates? Is that what you're talking about?
I mean, I want to go on a ride where like you don't know that's going to happen for the first time. And it's like, whoa! Wow!
Wow!
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Instead, I was like, oh, it's gonna go fast real quick, and I was like, oh. The Dueling Dragons, I went the last time I went, like, I don't know if anyone's gonna know that reference, but they tore down the Dueling Dragons to put the Harry Potter world.
No, it's still there.
The Dueling Dragons is still there.
Yeah, it's just been renamed
To
Dragon Challenge.
I thought.
No, they didn't tear it down. It's still there.
Because there was a really cool part where, like, you're going at each other, and then you go up into, like, a loop, and it was really cool.
Yeah, that still happens.
Oh, I thought they tore it down.
No,
Did they take it down Jurassic Park then?
No,
they tore it down for.
They took out. There was. If you remember, Dueling Dragons was part of the area called the Lost Continent, and they basically chopped the Lost Continent in half. So the only thing you have left is a restaurant and Poseidon's Fury, and like a little fountain. And then they got the Sinbad stage where they do that stunt show. They pretty much cut that in half. Extended out a little bit into land that they purchased to make Harry Potter World and kept Dueling Dragons.
Okay. It's been a long time since I've been to Universal.
We should go, man.
I honestly want to go back to Disney so I can ride the Star Wars ride again. Because that was one of the most fun. Like, I was like 18 or 9. No, I was like 20. And I squealed like a girl when I was on that ride. No, like, it was... And what sucks is, like, I don't think we even got the best one. We got, I think, the one where you go to Bespin.
Oh, I see. The thing is, I only went to Disney MGM once, and I only got on that ride once, and I don't remember there being multiple.
What was yours then?
The only thing I remember is doing the Death Star trench run.
No, because, see, I wasn't there for that, and...
This was well over a decade ago, too.
Yeah, maybe I went... I don't... I think they added, like, there's, like, different... Because I remember Kyle was like, oh, we didn't do this one. And I remember... I was like, oh, God, I love that so much. Because, like, you were rumbling around, and then, like, they would shoot at you, and, like, your ship, in quotations, it would, like, convulse, and it was like, I was in the front, and I almost shit myself.
See,
that was so much fun.
I rode that ride before any of the prequels came out. So, I don't know if they've added a Naboo, Geonosis, and Coruscant section of the ride where...
I don't like... I think it was all Empire. It was like... It was Galactic Civil War era. It just shows how much of a nerd / like inner child I get when I do Star Wars things. Like,
well, hey, I feel the same way anytime I go over to Universal and I'm going through Marvel Land because I'm just like... God, I'm just going to stay here forever.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much...
Your dad's just shaking his head. Damn it! What
It's
did I do?
like, God damn it! What boy did I raise?
I'm gonna go do another review for Mountain Dew.
The wrong kid died.
Deadpan.
Deadpan. But yeah.
Speaking of deadpan experiences, I had one the other day, or like a week ago at work, that was the funniest thing ever. And I can't remember the story, but I'm just gonna... Like, I said something, and someone just looked at me, and it was just like, they were just deadpan, and it was hilarious. Because deadpan's funny. You guys should equip it in your humor stash some more.
Yeah, I like deadpans. I like deadpans a lot, actually. I do it a lot at work, because where I work, there are very, very many people who say very stupid things.
Hey, where your eggs at?
Hey, you accept WIC here?
Oh, shit. That's racist. Hey, where's your eggs at?
Actually, it's more like, hey, where'd your eggs at? Bang, bang.
Smoking a cigarette. You're not allowed to smoke in here.
Actually, I had that happen today. Except it wasn't a customer. It was actually a coworker. I'm not going to name any names, but he's got one of those vapor cigarettes.
Well, see,
electronic
they're allowed to
ones.
do that.
No, they're not.
They're not?
You can't do that on the clock.
Oh, well, yeah.
We had a customer complain, so that pretty much put the lid on that. 2 of them, actually, in the same party. But no, going back to Universal, we should totally go because I still got that free day from when I bought my 2-day ticket. I'm mad that I can't use my free 3rd day.
Why?
Because it expires this weekend.
You have a day off you can go?
I don't have anybody to go with.
Bust it, man. Hey, everybody, let's get this settled.
Let's get a Kickstarter set up, send Danny over to Universal to use his final 3rd day so he can just ride Revenge of the Mummy for like 6 hours. That ride is so sweet, man. I really, really like that ride just because of how theatrical it is, the use of animatronics, and just freaking... There's so many effects that go on in that ride. The going backwards, the pyro, your souls are mine.
So I think we should move on to the main event.
There's a main event.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what are we gonna talk about today?
Well, we have a few topics. First off.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, we talked about your Christmas, so we're good.
Yeah. So.
New Year's. It was New Year's.
What?
We lit off fireworks at my house. Danny came over.
Yeah.
There's a video that I posted on Facebook. You can post on your. I don't know.
No, I don't know. It's.
You need to have me. You need to do a miscellaneous YouTube account and link it with all your other ones of just like random, like kind of Rocco has his personal.
Yeah, but you know what I really need to do first off is that I know PWNcast has its own Facebook page, but I mean like my gaming channel itself does not. I don't know why. I just never made one. I think maybe I could just consolidate the PWNcast and the gaming stuff all onto the same page, and just rename it. For your health, by the way.
Doo-doo-doo.
Yeah, I've got you and Vince hooked on Check It Out with Dr. Steve Grohl. I'm so proud of that.
It's a pretty funny show, everyone.
Yeah, might link that video of me screaming conservative propaganda statements such as...
and explosions.
Such as, they hate us for our freedom, and then...
Grenade out.
Yep, grenade out. So, one of the big topics we want to talk about, this is actually something from today. I don't remember how many hours ago this was posted. Metal Gear Solid 5 has officially got all of its ESRB stuff out there.
And off scene.
Well, let me first off say that this Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes will be the first video game
Excuse me.
in history to have a rated M rating for sexual violence. And that's my phone going off. And I don't know why it's going off at, what time are we recording? 3 a.m.?
3:08 to be exact.
3:08 a.m. when my phone's going off, so you know what that means.
You know what I did before we started this, Danny? I put my phone on silent.
You know, I put it back there with the full intention of it not being heard on the mic. But anyway, Metal Gear Solid 5 is the first game in history to get rated for sexual violence for a rape scene, no less.
Off scene.
Well, it's off screen.
Off screen, I should say.
But you still hear everything.
According to it said you heard clothes being torn and you heard shit.
Noises.
You heard noises like confrontational scruffling. Like,
Yeah.
Hey, you get off me, sonny boy.
Which the scruffling could really be is a very broad term. So
yeah, and then you hear the words fuck and shit.
Well, that's throughout the entire game, so they just use that as a generalization.
Oh, it wasn't in that scene? I thought you said it was in that scene.
It's not pertaining to that scene.
Oh.
So, what are your thoughts on the fact that Hideo Kojima is keeping up with his promise?
This might make me out to be a horrible, horrible, horrible person, but Hotline Miami is an amazing game. It's a lot of fun. It's his cool visual style, and then Hotline Miami apparently had a quote-unquote staged rape scene, and people flipped their shit and got upset about it. I was actually excited and wanted to see how they would do it, and I am excited and want to see how they do it here. I've always felt like art and forms of media have a shield over them. They're allowed to do. I personally feel as though they're allowed to do these kinds of things, and I want to see how they can do it creatively. If you don't do it in a tasteful way and you do it really poorly, I can see how it can be. It can add to the criticism of the game. Like if it's just this like the hot coffee thing from Grand Theft Auto 4 is like this Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Remember that hot coffee? It was like this really shitty .
Yeah, but that was a mod. That wasn't...
Yeah, and it was just, really stupid, and, the developers were like, no, it wasn't in there, and then people said it was, and just the whole point is, it was badly done, and it was stupid. I want to see something, you can have a sex scene in the game, make it tasteful, like Mass Effect did in 1 and 2. Miranda's boobs are hot. But...
I believe Miranda's assets are not in the, general upper torso area.
Dude, they're everywhere on her. Are you kidding me?
Still has a face that looks like it got beat by a crowbar by the Joker, though. That's just because of bad facial capture on EA BioWare's part.
I want to see how they'll do this, and every game developer I've ever loved seems to be shitting on me, or at least recently, and I've soon started to love Kojima. So hopefully that he can do it in a tasteful way that'll make the game, it'll add to the story. And I'm excited that it's gonna go the super serious and gritty route when technically we've already seen him shoot children, or we've seen him start shooting and then it cuts to children, so you don't really know.
I mean, it's alluded to the fact that in the trailer he's shooting at kids.
Yeah, and he pulls something out of a kid.
Yeah, he rips open a character from Peace Walker to remove something from her intestines and all of that.
Yeah, so the game looks gritty itself. I don't know. I don't like rape at all. It's a horrible, horrible thing, and douchebags. It's horrible. But I am excited to see how they'll do this.
This is the perfect test, really, because it's either going to be one of those things where it's like, okay, video games, which in my opinion they're already like this, but there are still plenty of people out there that still think that video games they're for kids, you know, nothing really bad happens into them, there's no mature content in games, and then they play things like Silent Hill 2, and the suffering in it scars their psyches for life. And I think that this is just going to be an even bigger test to see what we can get away with in games before somebody like Fox News starts finding the next Mass Effect game and calling it pornography for children. I mean, the next thing we know, they'll start calling Metal Gear Solid 5 a rape simulator.
Well, like I said, I'm excited. I don't really care what Fox News says about it. It doesn't pertain to me. It does not going to affect me. I'm sure I'm partly wrong there, but I don't care.
Hey, bad publicity is still publicity.
This is true.
I mean, it works for Grand Theft Auto.
Because like I said, I didn't like how everyone just shat on Hotline Miami 2 because you're like, oh, it's rape culture, and I'm like, well, I mean, play it and try to, if they did it,
nobody can play it.
I know this sounds horrible when I say it in a tasteful way, but if they do it in a way that enhances the story and makes it better and makes the storytelling experience better, then I would appreciate it. I don't think that, a game like Grand Theft Auto should have a rape scene in it. I don't think a game like Skyrim or, Starbound or, like a game that's if you can fit it in a game that's narrative is dark and very dark and
gritty.
Yeah, thank you. Very dark and gritty. You can enhance that filter and make the game better. Which this game, like I've said, we've already established this game is going to be really bad. Like 4 was like, yay, we beat Solid.
We beat
Liquid.
All depressed now.
And no, like it ended on a high note, and it was like, okay, the Snake's gonna live out the rest of his life and be happy.
No, he was not happy.
Well, content, I would say.
He tried to blow his brains out at the end of the
game.
Yes,
but no, okay, if we're gonna go in, like, we're just in a little detour here. No, because then he meets Big Boss, and then they're like...
Oh, spoiler alert. I mean, the game's only, like, 5 years old now.
They hug, and he's like, no, you need to do better in life. And then he leaves, and he's like, I'm gonna go and spend my 6 months with you, Otacon, and we're gonna try to be happy.
We're gonna be bros.
Yeah, it ended on a high note. Like, the game wasn't super gritty. There was some weird...
It had its moments.
Full retard moments, like when...
Like Snake Rushmore.
Yeah?
Snake Rushmore.
The whole point is... This game, it looks like the whole thing is... I don't know. I haven't played it. Just from what it looks like it's going to be a fucking dark-ass game. So...
You know what?
The rape thing can be okay.
I think
I'll give it a pass now when I play it. If it comes off really like this should not have been there, like they just added it for publicity and like, oh, there's rape scene in the game, like, and then you play it and you're like, why was this here other than just to bother me and
for
make
shock
this game,
value?
Yeah, and for shock value. Then I can totally understand us shitting on it. But right now, I don't think we should shit on it, and I think maybe we should even look on it like me and you are in a positive way and to see like, hey, what is this going to bring to the table? Let's find out.
Yeah, I mean, I just it's an experiment to just see how far you can push the limits of what you can do in video games in terms of storytelling and things like that. Can you have something serious like this happen in a game? Can people act like adults and treat it in a mature fashion, which we all know most of them probably will not.
Wasn't the movie Derailed? Was it Derailed where Jennifer Aniston got raped?
I don't know.
There was a movie recently, and I think it was Derailed, and her character gets quote-unquote raped, but it's actually like her character is playing that she got raped. I don't know. I didn't see the movie. I just remember it being popular, and like I remember everyone was like, "Oh," and you'll see it like happen in more small tone, like not big movies.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see these things happen. So I'm kind of excited. What's funny is, do you know of a rape scene in the game?
No,
because they said the first time Six Flags, which is funny because.
I mean,
I'm sure the first time there was rape on cinema, it wasn't a big movie. It was a very small movie, most likely. And this is going the exact opposite route, where it's just a really, really big game, like E3, boom, and it's gonna have an off-screen rape scene, most likely.
Well, the only thing that I can really think of in terms of gaming where they've done something like this is like, you will always find in a game, like you will be reading through notes that you pick up on the way, or something where you find a character has been alluded to being molested or raped or being violated. You never actually see or hear it. It's always something that's just kind of like, well, something terrible happened to this person in the past, and it might have been one of these things, and that explains why they're acting this way. You've never actually, to my knowledge...
been present.
Yeah. And, frankly, I believe Elmo's number journey for the Nintendo 64 could have benefited from a rape scene, because it would have made the game a lot more interesting while Elmo's collecting numbers around Count's castle.
Oh, that's awful. Rape is bad.
Yeah, but you know what? The fucking Cookie Monster still wants me to go down the chocolate river and connect all the numbers.
Rape is bad.
Yeah,
Can we just end this segment with rape is bad?
Rape is bad. But
I do not support it. Do not say but, you asshole. I will fucking stab you in the face. Rapists are horrible people. You should never hold down someone and forcibly.
See, this is just a completely weird situation because, yeah, rape is a horrible, horrible thing, but is it bad that I'm kind of really anticipating seeing this in the game?
Well, that's the whole thing. When you first told me, I had this conflicting spirit about, man, I immediately hated the characters that did that to her because I'm I bet you, because I'm assuming it's gonna be Quiet or someone of that nature.
I think it's gonna be somebody different, but
okay, whoever, I'm probably gonna like that female character, and they're gonna violate her, and I'm gonna get really fucking mad at them, and hopefully I can kill them later in the game. So, in my opinion, this is why I'm kind of excited, because it gives you this range of emotions. Because, there have been things on movies and games that are horrible things, like in Dead Space 2, whole ships die, but it's fiction, it's not real. So this, again, is not real. It's a fictionist, it's based on real things that happen in real life, but, everything you play and everything you see and read in fiction is based on something that it's come, Dead Space, again, there are people, and sometimes they die, and sometimes they die in very large amounts. So it's not I shouldn't want to play Dead Space because people die in large amounts in real life. And it's not I shouldn't want to play Metal Gear Solid 5 now because there's an alluded rape scene. It doesn't make you a horrible person to view it and see it. It makes you a horrible person when you're a fucking rapist.
That's just what Tumblr needs right now.
I think
more fuel to the MGS5.
No, look, like I said, I don't care about those people. They're gonna hate it anyways. I think they're wrong. I'm sure they would love to tell me why I'm wrong, but, I'd rather not go there.
Well, think of it like this. They threw a hissy fit over what Quiet's character model looked like.
I know.
Think of what will happen once this thing starts spreading around the internet in the next few days.
I'll keep it tagged and look, because I'm just curious. I don't think this is, making rape culture more prevalent. Which is, I don't know how it would make it, a bigger thing. If you believed in rape culture, I don't know how this would make it. If you do, and you can find my Facebook and give me a long message why you think it is, I don't care. I would love to hear your side of it. I can't see how it would make, the established definition of rape culture more popular, and, I don't know how it would make it worse, because it's just, there's already rape in television and books, and some girls fantasize about it.
So, do you think that Anita Sarkeesian's going to make a web series about why rape in video games is bad?
She'll have one video game to... I wonder if this is going to open up the door and people are going to start hey, let's get... And this is why... Hold on. Let me say this. This is why it's a bad thing. I hope this doesn't open a door for people to exploit it. Because the way I like it, I like things when they add... I don't want you to exploit it and be oh, there's you play God of War and you have to put the triangle to rape a girl, and I don't want anything to do with that. Like, I don't want you to, like, because I can already imagine in, like, 3 years, they'll have a fucking game where you play as a serial killer, and there's a scene where you have to, it's, like, you don't see anything, but you're hitting the triangle when you thrust into her, and as you hold her down with a knife. Like, I don't want anything to do with that. That's a horrible thing. Fuck that.
That would never, ever get past the ESRB, though.
I sure hope not, because I hope this doesn't open the door for that. That's the only thing I'll give anyone who gets upset with this. I hope it's not like, oh, now it's opened the door, because I don't want anything to do with that, and I hope this doesn't open the door for it to be a cheap, effect that people can throw in a game that's really shitty anyways, or has nothing to do with that, just to throw it in to add publicity. That's what I'm afraid of.
Well,
Rape is bad.
And on that same note where you're talking about opening a door, I think that this also opens a door, if it's successful, I should say, like if it's done tastefully and things like that, that it opens a door for developers to potentially be more ambitious in different regards, not with subject matter like that.
Either way, I think hopefully we get positives out of it, because I can see that it could definitely be negatively affecting the gaming industry.
Yeah.
Because you'll have people like just shithead developers who make stupid games.
A Saints Row 5 pops up and there's a rape minigame.
I don't think they would do that, because Saints Row is very
Saints Row is dead,
and funny, so I don't know why they'd want to go that route. But I can see, like, you see these games like Outcast, Indonesia, who are pushing the limits on, like, not gore, but just, like, fear, and, like, and then they have, like, there's a, like, I don't want them to just throw in a rape scene because it makes it more gritty and dark. Like, please make it in a tasteful way. And I know that sounds really odd, like, oh, hopefully this rape scene is tasteful. Like, I don't want it to sound like, hopefully I guess I shouldn't say tasteful. Hopefully it adds to the story and the narrative of what I'm doing. Because I'm a big narrative guy and character guy. So if it adds to character and narrative, I can pass with it. But if it's strictly there to be a cheap effect, I'm not happy with that.
I agree with you.
Okay, rape is bad. Don't rape people.
Speaking of rape, shall we go into Battlefield 4 and EA DICE?
Okay, no. Okay, EA and DICE have not raped anyone. Okay, they released a shitty product that we will talk about in a second. It is not anywhere equal to how bad rape is. No. Part of me is doing this just to...
They didn't rape people.
They
raped wallets.
No.
They
rape is not an
infiltrated
adjective.
My wallet under false pretenses.
Listen.
They slipped it roofies. It looked pleasurable at the time.
This
you walk
funny,
in the room,
Danny.
and then 63 other people just jump on you in a broken mess, and then the next thing you know, Battlefield 4 has stopped working.
Look, okay, we're gonna everyone don't listen to what Danny said. Scrap that analogy. I will make a much better one. EA decided, let's make a shit ton of money and release the game before Call of Duty 4. And then everyone bought the game, and it was fucking horseshit. Okay.
Pretty much.
You know what? I like the game. It's fun to play. It's just so fucking broken. There's been times where I'm like, oh, by the way, everyone, we're not talking about rape anymore. We're talking about Battlefield 4.
Okay. You had to put that
Rape is bad.
I think you've emphasized it.
And we're laughing about this, but I'm being dead ass serious, okay?
That's not what I'm laughing at. I'm not laughing at the rape. Can we stop talking about rape,
It's
please?
bad. It's really,
I'm laughing at the fact that you're freaking spazzing over what we just talked about. You're trying to stay so far in the safe zone. It's funny.
No, I don't think you should go out of the safe zone when you talk about rape, okay? It's like genocide. You don't just hypothetically talk about genocide.
Unless it's the Tanzanians. That is a joke.
I know. Okay. I've spent whole days where half of the day is me either not being able to log in, being dropped from the game mid-loading. Like, it got to the point where if I alt-tabbed while it was loading, it would stop loading. Like, I had to not alt-tab or else the game would drop. And anyone who has a high-end PC knows how frustrating that is, because you're like, oh, it's loading, let me go check Facebook, or let me go do something else, because it's so easy to alt-tab out of, like, a game, because this isn't the 90s anymore, where, like, if you alt-tabbed, holy shit, your computer might blow up. Like, you now have an i7 and 16 gigabits of RAM, and
gigabits,
and you could alt-tab and go blah, 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 and, like, I would alt-tab, and the game would stop loading, and the game You know that 30% of the players that play that game cheat. 30%.
Maybe on PC. I don't know about the console
Well,
stats.
okay, 30% of PC players cheat on that game, and it's just staggering how broken this game is and how amazing the campaign is.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that.
No, hold on, listen me out. The campaign works. There's nothing wrong with the campaign. The multiplayer, however, does not.
It's a completely different beast.
Like, there have been multiple times where I was like, oh shit, I'm being shot at. Run behind cover. Oh, I'm behind cover. Oh, wait, I died. What? It's just... And then you watch videos of people, if it happening to other people, where they, like... They're getting shot at. They duck, or, like, crouch. And they're underneath something or behind something. And they still die. And it's just... bad.
It's embarrassing. It really is. You know...
And I enjoy... I mean, the game is fun to play. It's just...
The game came out on October 29th for PC and 360 and PlayStation 3. So, you and Vince have had the capability of playing this since the 29th of October. We are recording this on January 6th of 2014. The game has already had one expansion come out, and the game is still broken.
Well, I know that they... Like, I watched the Russian Badger, which, by the way, you really should check out the Russian Badger stream. He's awesome. I was watching him stream, and he'd get revived, and then the click space to be revived is stuck on his screen because they patched it to make it... They made a patch to fix that, and it made it worse. Like, if you spam the spacebar, it would get stuck on your screen.
At first... I of course would blame EA for it. EA does not have a very good track record as a publisher when it comes to products being finished at launch. Cough, Mass Effect 3. Anyway, from my understanding, you can go and read all of this on the Battlefield 4 subreddit because this was a big thing once the game launched. You know, users trying to find out what happened. They finally got a hold of somebody who worked at QA at DICE. To try to find out, what happened? How come this thing did not go through quality assurance? Why wasn't this game tested enough? There's no excuse for how broken this game is. I can understand if you have a few little things here and there that you need to tweak at launch. Like, Bad Company 2 had a broken server browser. Okay, we can fix that, in like a week. Battlefield 3, yeah, it had, like, the first day, because of overflow on the servers, you couldn't really play. You were lucky to get into a match. This one... The server browser doesn't work. The game constantly crashes. If you do any of some of the basic levolutions in the game, your game crashes. The first day that I played this game on the PlayStation 4, I was constantly getting that error message of Battlefield 4 has stopped working, needs to shut down, and then there's that long error code. I was getting it constantly. According to QA at DICE wanted to put this out this month in January. Second week of January. EA said no. It's got to compete with Call of Duty, and you're going to put it out 1 week before Call of Duty goes
Which really sucks, because this Call of Duty was duty.
Yeah. I mean, we played a little bit of it. It's rented it for
bad.
The PlayStation 4, and it's pretty fucking bad.
It is so bad. It's not a next-gen title.
Well, the thing about that is that when you're dealing with a game that's cross-generation, I'm not expecting it to look
I can
good.
Automatically just shut you down with... Battlefield 4 looks pretty amazing.
Yeah, I know. I think it looks really, really good on the consoles when it works. Which now, it's a little bit more consistent and still has a lot of problems, but at least I can get into a match and play. But I don't know. It's just... I don't know who to be mad at this point, because it's January, and DICE should be working around the clock to fix this game.
Because I can throw out... I just recently got Rome 2 Total War. I think I've played every Rome... I played every single Rome Total War game except for the original Shogun, which was released in like 1999 or 2000. I played Rome... I played Total War Medieval, or Medieval Total War. I played Rome Total War. I played Empire, Napoleon, all the expansions. I've loved that series. It's an amazing series. what I'm playing now, Rome, it's pretty good. I mean, it's a little buggy. It's a little graphically intensive. It can the engine itself is very intensive. Like I'm on medium settings, and the frames will drop pretty heavily. And I don't think it's because my computer is not good enough. It's strictly because the engine itself, I think, is so intensive on itself. But when the game originally came out, I think it was released in late September. It was really bad and it was really broken, and people were really upset. And they immediately started patching the game, and like patching it hardcore. And by now, and I think Vince, who got it when he started, Vince pre-ordered it and he got it in September when it came out. He said about November, mid October, early November, it was pretty
stable.
Like I had problems. I had a problem the other night where it wouldn't open. It kept crashing, and it was because like I took all the mods I downloaded off, and it worked. So I don't think that's anything wrong with the game. It's just every now and then, if you add things to a game, it'll become unstable. So I understand that. I have no problem with that. That's why I like Creative Assembly. They realized it was a problem and they worked really hard to fix it. DICE, I don't know how many patches. Actually, you talk. I'm gonna look up how many patches they've released.
Actually, my question to you is: Do you know how big of a development team size Creative Assembly is? Because I know DICE is well over like 300-400 people probably.
I know they're a subsidiary of Sega,
which is nothing to be proud of.
Nope. But
Aliens Colonial Marines. You guys remember that from 2013? Yeah. Fucking piece of shit.
I do know that every single Rome game that they've released has been very successful. Not Rome. Every single Total War game they've released has been very, very successful. And this one they just released broke all the records and had the most concurrent players at once on the day it launched.
Well,
it says 300.
Okay, so a team of 300, and look up DICE, if you would.
That was in March of 2012.
Okay, so it probably hasn't changed that much since then. But I mean, hey, Creative Assembly, they're making an Alien game, Alien Isolation. I can't wait to see what they do with that, considering that they're primarily an RTS developer. It's going to be different. But the thing about Battlefield 4 is I was really looking forward to this game because, ever since Vince got me hooked on Bad Company 2, I've pretty much become a diehard Battlefield fan, even going back as far as to play through some of the older ones. Like, I really like 2142, obviously 1942 is a classic. I skipped Vietnam.
I started at 1942, and I played all the expansions for that. And that game was so much fun. Like, me and my brother had LAN parties with that game, and we would team up in tanks and just destroy the enemy. But that, and then I went to Vietnam, and then I played Battlefield 2, and then I played Battlefield Bad Company 2, and then 3 and 4.
Yeah.
And there are 323 employees at DICE, according from 2012.
Okay. So yeah, you've got 300 people working at DICE. Probably not all of them are working with coding and things like that. Obviously, you've got your Patrick Bachmans or whatever who are just
take vacations.
No, that's not who took the vacation. I don't remember who that guy was. I think he was he was basically the PR guy, the consumer representative. That's it, head consumer representative who took 5 weeks vacation and sent out tweets asking fans what they thought about the game and things like that, and then everybody thought he was trolling, which I don't personally know what was going on there. But at this point, at first, I wanted to blame EA for how bad the game was, and I think I was justified in doing so. But now I feel it is perfectly justified in blaming DICE for the game not being fixed. Right now, it has been confirmed by a DICE employee that on January 14th, Battlefield 4 Second Assault will be coming out for premium members on PC, PS4, PS3, and
360 or
no, 360 and 1 have had that. They don't have China Rising. They split up the expansions in a different order, depending on the consoles, I believe. And the game's still not fixed. Now, my question to anybody at DICE is why would I want to buy another expansion to your game and give you another $15-20 for an expansion when the game's not fixed yet? In fact, when you released China Rising, you introduced more problems into the game, while also, quote, patching it to add compatibility to China Rising. This game is not finished, and I don't know if DICE is just going to eventually get fed up to the point where they just abandon it and just say, fuck all of you who gave us $110 for Battlefield 4 and Premium. We're moving on to Battlefield 5 or Battlefield Bad Company 3 or whatever. I don't know what they're going to do at this point. They've lost fan loyalty to the franchise, which is probably the biggest crushing blow you can do to your consumer base. When some of your diehard commentators, these people who took the time to go out and to all of your public events to promote your game, are saying, yeah, Battlefield 4 is kind of a piece of shit, these people have a lot of influence when it comes to your community. And if they're going to be bagging on your game, good luck trying to find anybody else who will vouch for you.
I think it seems like the new, I could be wrong, but it seems like the new trend is releasing a game well before it's ready. And knowing that people are going to buy it. And this is the reason why I'm kind of excited about Watch Dogs, because they got delayed.
Yeah.
And if there's problems with that game, then we'll know that the delay was not because it wasn't ready, but because of something else.
Yeah, but Ubisoft's actually, for the most part, from my memory, are pretty good on that when it comes to...
I don't know, man. Assassin's Creed 3 is pretty fucking buggy.
Yeah, but that's also because they became an annual franchise.
This is true.
So
I think they were in that one had a 2-year development, though.
Yeah.
It started before Revelations came out. It was a bad game.
Assassin's Creed 3 to me is just a bad game, period. I didn't enjoy playing it.
Okay, so apparently there is an AMD and Mantle patch coming, and it's delayed until January, and the whole purpose of that was to improve both the game's visuals and how efficiently it's produced. So the visuals are produced. Okay. So I guess they're trying to up the visuals, but they scheduled it. It was supposed to come out in mid-December. They pushed it back to January because apparently EA is now pushing for... EA is doing bug stomping, is what the developers are doing now. So I guess they're working to fix the problems. They just don't seem to be...
Yeah, the only problem is that the game came out in October and it's fucking January. And I've had the game since November 15th with the launch of the new console, and the game's still fucking piece of shit.
I don't know, man. Did you play that campaign? It's pretty amazing.
God damn it, you and your campaign. Wrecker, do this. Wrecker, do that.
Wrecker, iron my shorts.
Wrecker, pay my car insurance. Thank you, Russian Badger. You're the best. He really is, man. Like, even with such a bad game, he manages to have so much fun with it. Even so far as to trolling his stream by loading up Bad Company 2 at some points. And they're like, no! And I'm like, yes! But then he doesn't play it. That's all I want, man. I just want another Bad Company game at this point. And then you even brought up earlier, this raises concerns for you with Battlefront.
Yeah.
Same with me, man. If they did this to their cash cow...
Yeah, their biggest franchise.
If they did this to their cash cow, what are they going to do with the reboot of Battlefront? I mean, is there going to be a premium service for Battlefront that you can pre-order and then the game's only half finished when it comes out? I think that's the thing that pisses me off the most, is that I bought premium along with this game that did not work. I put $110 in this, and their way of saying sorry to me is free double XP for a week. And this was back in, I think, early December or late November or something like that. And I'm just like, how can I use this double XP if the game doesn't fucking work?
Well, I mean, technically, you could have given it back on the first day.
Well,
actually, no, you couldn't.
No, because I didn't get it through Origin. So, I don't know. I really... I don't know what they're going to do. I really like DICE. I really do. I converted over to them instead of having to play shitty-ass Call of Duty with Bad Company 2. And then they do this. And then they go as far as to put... Like, DICE is a developer that will go as far as to put little obscure Easter eggs in their games. Like, there was the whole Megalodon thing. There was the whole Visceral Games and Battlefield 2143 hidden in the code and all that. They'll go as far as to put these little tiny itsy... There's a fucking Dorito chip on Zavid 311. They're able to take the time to meticulously put all these little things inside the game, but they still won't fucking fix it. I think that's what makes me... You know, PlayStation 4, I've been playing Injustice. And that's a game that came out last generation for the PS3 and 360. I've been getting more enjoyment out of that than any other title that's come out for the PlayStation 4. That, and I kind of like Resogun a little bit too. It's pretty fun. I mean, for the most part, I enjoy my PlayStation 4, but... God... I just wish Battlefield 4 worked. I'm tired of talking about Battlefield 4. Any last thoughts?
I don't know. I mean, they started development... Battlefield 3 came out in 2011. So, it's 2 years after that.
And they want to make this an annual franchise. I think that's the biggest nightmare here.
They also released a shit ton of downloadable content for 3. They did Back to Kirkland, Close Quarters, Armored Kill, Aftermath, and Endgame.
But you have to also note that DICE are split into two. They have a team that works on the games, and then they have a team that works on DLC. The U.S. team works on DLC.
What scares me the most, actually, is that Battlefront is scheduled to come out in 2015. Which... That's a year from now, and...
It's going to get delayed because of this game.
It's Q2 or Q3 of 2015.
It's going to be Q3 for sure, if not Q4. Because you know that with this, because, I mean, EA ordered DICE to cease all production on DLC.
Oh, you know what? This might... Oh, shit.
Until the game is done.
Oh, fuck. While no release date has been announced, in EA's annual meeting of stockholders, Chief Financial Officer Blake Jorgensen indicated that the game would be released in Q2 or Q3 of 2015, which correlates to when Star Wars Episode 7 is expected to be released. I swear to God, if that game is centered around the new fucking movies, I will be so mad.
Well, no, man, you saw the teaser, it's Hoth.
Yeah, that's a teaser.
Okay, but what if it has all 3 eras, man? What if it has Galactic Civil War, Clone Wars, and a new one?
Fuck all the other ones. All I want is stormtroopers and the little rebels and their shitty little guns.
I just want a fucking Battlefront game.
This is true.
You should be happy with what they're giving you. You should be happy with...
I'm not going to settle.
You should be happy with all the DLC that they're going to make you buy. You should be happy that there's going to be a Lucasfilm Premium Special Edition, which replaces all of your old stuff with, like, CG Jabba and
Lucas isn't here anymore, so shut. It's okay, Danny. Don't get angry anymore.
Yeah,
I like the special editions.
You're joking, right? Please
Deadpan, man.
Deadpan. Invisible Deadpan.
I'm kidding.
Also, just to close out the whole Battlefield 4 thing, they've got a class action lawsuit on their hands because EA lied to their investors about the state of Battlefield 4.
Well, that and who is it that was who's on like 2 weeks paid vacation?
No, 5 weeks.
Because in Sweden, excuse me.
Yeah, he was that.
You have to have 5 weeks of vacation, so of course he had no idea how bad the game was.
Yeah, I mean because on your vacation, you definitely don't play the game that you've been working on for the past 2 years. You definitely don't do that. I mean, this guy actually streams on Twitch from time to time. Oh yeah, you definitely don't play your own game that you've been working on to promote it at all, considering that you're in charge of consumer relations, which includes whoring out your game in your products. You definitely don't know the state of your game.
Why do you hate women so much?
I love women. I really do. Do not question my sexuality on my show, sir.
No, I think you don't. You're not like a man lover. You just hate women. You're a misogynist.
I guess. I mean, Anita Sarkeesian's gonna show up at my doorstep
with a Bible in her hand?
With a Bible and a bazooka.
Wait, no.
A bazooka. A bazooka of feminism.
Shoots out ladies.
I guess. Shoots out really...
No, go there. We're done with that. that joke is done. I knew you were going with that. I'm not going to let you go there. I will be the regional moral compass.
Moral compass, which is definitely what I do not need.
So, we're done with Dice. I guess you don't talk about what games you've done recently. And
I mean, I've been playing through...
Call of Duty 4.
You mean Call of Duty Ghosts, which I think is actually on Call of Duty 9 or 10 now?
That is probably the worst Call of Duty game I have ever seen in my entire life.
I don't know, man. Black Ops 2 was pretty fucking bad. Like, it looked worse than that. Well, then again, this is also PlayStation 4. Can we just talk about the fact that PS3 and 360 Call of Duties actually had it locked at 60 frames per second, and this thing had fucking frame drops on the PlayStation 4?
I heard that they weren't frame drops, they were, like, too many frames.
No. Those are dropped frames.
I don't know. I will just say this. And I thought that the 360 and they were at 30 frames.
No, they're at 60. The engine is so old that you can run them at 60 frames per second on console.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think the worst part was when you were in the, I'm assuming it was like a Black Hawk or something, and you were holding a minigun, and you were shooting said minigun, and the effects were so poor. Like, there was no flash... Like,
from the minigun at all?
Yeah, and like, it looked like you were shooting around, like, every 3 seconds, because you'd, like, see dirt go every 3 seconds or so. Whereas in... I'm not trying to, like... I love Battlefield, whatever, whereas in Battlefield, like... Your camera shakes, your controller vibrates. Like,
there's like a weight behind it.
Yes, like you see, like it's like your fucking screen flashes up, and like you see the tracer rounds. It's much more visual.
Mm-hmm. There's also a segment in Call of Duty,
which is why it bothers me that this is gonna go back to Dice, but whatever. But it bothers me so much that they couldn't like foresee that. I guess they wouldn't know, but man, it's just like if you guys had only known how bad this Call of Duty game was gonna be, and you just waited, and then you would come out and you were awesome. Because this game is awesome when it works. You were awesome, and like everyone would have been like, wow, Call of Duty sucks ass. Look at this fucking awesome game called Battlefield 4. I'm going to buy Battlefield 4 in Premium, and the next time a Battlefield comes, I'm definitely going to buy that over the Call of Duty game. So like they missed this great opportunity. Granted, they had no idea how bad Call of Duty Ghosts was going to suck, and remember, they had fish AI, so obviously the Call of Duty 4 was going to be awesome.
I love how you keep on calling it Call of Duty 4. Call of Duty 4 came out in 2007, Derek.
It's Call of Duty 4 sucks to me.
Well, I mean, it all is the same.
Call of Duty 420 MLG Smoking Pro, bruh.
420 blaze it, man.
Smoke weed every day.
Yeah, god damn it, Badger.
But
I mean, there's one segment where there's a driving segment in Call of Duty, believe it or not.
Was it the tank?
Yeah, the tanks. And how they just look like cardboard. And
they were going way too fast, too.
Yeah, it's like...
I think Vince was like, these look like a gust of wind could, like, flip them all over. Like,
like I said, man.
Oh, no, Captain, it's a gust of...
Oh! Anyway. But,
you know what? I won't lie. The extinction mode was interesting. I liked that. That was cool and, like...
It's a nice change of pace from zombies.
The next time that they should just make Call of Duty with only multiplayer and extinction mode. Don't focus on a campaign anymore because...
The only thing I can say is...
The only good first-person shooter campaigns out right now are Metro and possibly Bioshock, but Bioshock is... I don't think you can compare it to...
No.
Yeah, okay, so the first, like, I guess you should say, like, left trigger aim...
Yeah, pretty much.
...would be Metro. Can you think of any?
I don't know.
And I love Metro. I gotta play Last Light, but 2033 was fucking awesome.
I'm gonna have to disagree with Bioshock Infinite being a good shooter.
Well, we're not gonna go there.
Yeah, I mean, I've already done a Game of the Year thing, and I've already talked about why Bioshock Infinite does not deserve Game of the Year, but whatever.
Hooker, pay my car insurance.
Shameless plug. You know what, goddammit, I'm just gonna say it real quick. It's... Bioshock Infinite, yeah, it's got a decent story to it. Yeah, I enjoyed that story. But it's getting to the story that's the problem. I don't like how that game feels when you're shooting. I think it's dumb. I think it's antiquated, and I think it feels too much like Call of Duty. But I like the story. And it's just getting to the story that's the problem. It's a chore. I don't like how, you want to see what happens next? Go through these waves of enemies. It's very formulaic.
Yeah, I disagree, but
yeah, whatever.
I'm not gonna argue with you.
And then there's the fucking Last of Us, which...
I recently played Assassin's Creed 3, which was like Mass Effect 3. Disappointing.
I'm Hathan Kenway. Welcome to the Templars.
This guy's cool. Oh, wait, I'm not an assassin. Oh, wait, now I'm a little boy. What? Like, that... Like, you played for Hathan for, like, a good, 2 or 3 hours.
At least.
And it was like, okay, I like this character. When can I start doing, Assassin's Creed things, getting my helpers and sending them on quests and, doing things that are, cool that they've established in previous games. And then they just throw this, I was a Templar? And then you're a kid, and then you grow up as the kid, and then you kind of become an assassin, and then you're still waiting, and then finally you unlock everything, and you can do everything. And it takes the
at least
majority
8 hours.
of the game. The majority of the game, you are not doing Assassin's Creed-y things. That was the one thing I'll give Assassin's Creed 3. I mean, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, I should say. You weren't, it was very, okay, your place got burnt down, and then you go to Rome, and then pretty much once you got there, things moved pretty quickly. This game took forever to do anything.
Yeah, I agree. I mean...
and you hated the ship combat. I thought it was pretty fucking cool.
Maybe it was,
I'm on a
combat.
PC, so, mine's locked at 60 frames. It looks good. It was, all stormy and shit, and it was awesome.
I just didn't like how it felt when I played it on the 360.
I liked it.
Actually, I played that on the PlayStation 3. I take that back. Played that on PS3.
I liked it, but the game was the combat was better than all the other ones. It was much more gruesome, which was cool. And then the story was just Mass Effect 3. It just kind of ended, and it was all, we're gonna be interesting and make this just it's just the current trend of every story you have, when it ends, they want it to be a bad ending. Everything you built up, they don't want you to do it. They just want to throw a curveball, all this shit you've been doing doesn't matter.
At least Mass Effect 3 gave you the illusion of choice. Assassin's Creed 3's ending does not give you a choice.
That game was ever based on choice, so I didn't have a problem with that.
But I wouldn't. I would love to have the ability to pick between one of the possible, just to
honestly,
see what happens.
It didn't bother me that much. What bothered me was everything you're building to. Just kidding, and it seems now it's happened twice. With now Mass Effect 3.
Lol, JK, lol.
We gotta get what's it called? The
Pieces of Eden.
No, Mass Effect.
The Pieces of no. You
had the cipher or the fuck.
No, you had to complete the. Oh fuck! What was it called?
I don't know. It was Star Child though.
Yeah, the Star Child was there. David Bowman was there from 2001, and he was guiding you on making your choices. So that way, when the Omegans come back through time to teach Orville and Wilbur Wright how to fly in Kitty Hawk. Conspiracy theories.
Thank you for stalling enough for me to look this up. Keep stalling.
stalling. I don't know what it is about games lately. It's mostly prevalent in AAA titles, where they have. It's all got to be set piece, and then really really shitty ending. I would have to say that
Crucible.
Yeah, the Crucible.
You gotta build the Crucible.
No, I believe.
And then the Citadel shows up.
I believe Mass Effect 3 and Assassin's Creed 3 came out the same year. The only thing I remember is that in that general time period in gaming, it was the year of shitty endings. You had ME3's ending, you had Assassin's Creed 3's ending. I'm pretty sure there was another franchise that ended in there that was shitty.
Well, I'm really excited. I will be excited when I finally get a game that ends. That's like that, where you have a series and you're building up to something. Because in Mass Effect, you were trying to get to the place in New York, to figure out how to stop the sun. Okay, cool. Let's get there and do that.
What the fuck are you talking about?
In Mass Effect... Oh, you said that's in Mass Effect?
Yeah, you did.
I meant Assassin's Creed, excuse me. In Assassin's
I
Creed.
was about to say, you go to New York in Mass Effect to stop the sun? What the fuck are you talking about?
No, in Assassin's Creed.
And then Loki shows up with one of the Infinity Stones.
Shut up.
He opens a portal and Thanos is coming through.
In Assassin's Creed, you're supposed to stop the sun, and I will admit it's not as big of a story as Mass Effect, but still, like, you were building up. You were going through the Animus to find more pieces of Eden to unlock how to do this. And then you get there, and one of the aliens is like, "Oh, I'm gonna take over the world now." She stops the sun somehow, but she also takes over the world. So it's like, okay. In Mass Effect, you built the Crucible to stop the Reapers, and then hey, you either kill all technology, you become a Reaper, or you become infused with synthetics.
Yeah, you do synthesis.
Hold on. What the fuck? Like, that's my answer to that ending. Like, you mean this isn't like some kind of awesome weapon that like a giant laser beam that just destroys the Reaper ships and then blows up? Well, like that, I've been totally down with that.
You've probably heard Vince and I mention whenever we talk about we geek out about Mass Effect and how disappointing Mass Effect 3 was. In Mass Effect 2, they start building up for the dark matter thing, where where the Crucible was a dark matter weapon, and since the Reapers used an unidentified energy at the time that we had no idea about, it would have been dark matter. And so they used the dark matter weapon to eliminate all the Reapers in the galaxy because they use dark matter and you overload them and they just blow up. That's what they were going to do.
What's upsetting is, like, with science fiction, there's not a lot of constraints on what you can do. Like, it could have been a giant laser beam. It could have been a giant laser weapon.
It could have been a Death Star.
Listen, yeah, exactly. And it shot all of the Reapers, and then, like, it overheated and blew up. And then the story is over. I'd have been okay with that. I'd be like, yeah, fuck yeah, man. All this stuff I did, like, granted, you could argue, well, your all the little things that you did throughout the story don't really matter if it just shoots the Reapers and blows them up. Whatever, I agree with you there, but I'm not a writer for Mass Effect, and this was something that just popped in my head. Anything would have been better than... I don't know why we're doing this on this podcast, but anything would have been better than Star Child. But enough of Assassin's Creed 3 and Mass Effect.
Mass Effect 3. Yes.
And Assassin's Effect.
Assassin's Effect 2.
What else have you played? I think you've been playing a lot of Injustice, right?
Yes, I've been playing Injustice Gods Among Us Ultimate Edition for the PlayStation 4, and it's good. I mean, I enjoyed the game playing it on the PlayStation 3. It's just nice to be able to have all the DLC in one place and go through that. So, it's a fun game.
Best fighting game of last year that you know of?
Yeah, pretty much, because I know Capcom didn't put out a new version of Street Fighter 4, because that would have been like the 90th version that they've released to cash in on. So, yeah, as far as I know, it's really the only decent fighting game that came out last year. And it's a really good one at that. It's developed by the same guys who do Mortal Kombat. It's really nice. I enjoy the game a lot. Just for the story, even. Like, a fighting game. When was the last time you thought of a fighting game having a good story?
Street Fighter the movie.
Yeah, I mean, Jean-Claude Van Damme as Guile. Bison, you're off the air.
One of my favorite movies. It's so bad, it's one of my favorite movies. Like, it's very rarely I'll watch a bad movie, and most of the time I'm like, oh, this is so bad, let's stop it. That movie, I'm totally like, man, this is fucking great. This is so bad. I love it.
Speaking of bad movies, we're
not done.
No, I just want to take the short time to plug it. That's it.
Okay.
We put up a video for the PWNcast 1 year anniversary where, we're having our fan base vote on... Well, basically what we're going to do is that we're going to do... I guess they're not riff tracks. They're just commentary tracks over movies that we've selected.
Hopefully you've already seen the movie, because it would be weird if you haven't.
If not, when we initially record the episode, we'll put in the description how you can obtain the movie legally. I might add. No, I don't do that. Derek, we don't talk about that.
Go to a Redbox and sign a fake card and you'll get the movie.
Take your mom's credit card and go to the Redbox.
Go to the Blockbuster.
Family Video. Hollywood Video. Netflix.
No, there's a video store in my city.
Said no one ever.
I'm sure there's.
I'll fire up my.
Are all of the Blockbusters closed down?
Yeah, they're gone for good. Like if they're, I know we have one of the last ones that are open in the nation here in town. Believe it or not, it's out by Kathleen, and it's.
What do they do with all their movies?
What they do is that they have like a liquidation sale where they like sell them for a dime. DVDs, just like take them. They gotta go. They even sell their furniture that they use, like their shelving and all of that. They liquidate it. It's all gotta go.
I know we had a movie gallery at the store I work. We had at a plaza, and the that place now is used to hold random items in the store, like shelving units in the store. They place them there.
Yeah, I've noticed that whenever I've walked by and I can see shelving in there. I wonder if that belonged to your store.
Yep.
So,
because we own the whole area.
Basically, what we're doing is that we each picked a set of movies. Like one of them is kind of an anthology. One's a bad movie and one's a good movie.
Yeah, we had one good movie, one bad movie each, and then we had an anthology. And I think my bad movie was Commando. What was my good movie? Star Wars: Wrath of Khan.
I think you either picked Star Trek 2 or Raiders.
No, mine was Wrath of Khan. Mine was Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan.
And then you picked all the James Bond movies.
That was my anthology. And then you picked...
I picked Resident Evil anthology, RoboCop 3 for my bad movie, and then Dark City for my good movie. So basically what you do is that you just...
And if you're Monster, you give us money, and we'll do this all in
Monster, please pay us now.
We will record it while we have, like, I'll buy a Monster. Look, you don't have to pay for all the stuff. Trust me, just give us, like, $20,000. I'll pay for it. I'll have, like, a Monster sheet behind us. We'll both be drinking Monsters that we will be drinking very liberally, like, a lot.
Like the muscle monsters, man. I
pretty much,
really like the taste
we
of
won't
those.
really talk about the movie. We'll just talk about how good Monster is. Like,
exactly.
It'll open up with a little commercial offline for you about Monster. It'll end with something about Monster.
It basically becomes a Kevin Smith podcast. Except Kevin Smith promotes his own products, not somebody else's.
What do you mean? I own Monster.
But you just go to that video, I believe it's titled PWNcast 1 Year Anniversary Voting Special or something like that, and you just vote for what movies you want to see in the comment section. Vote for one good movie, one bad movie, and then for one anthology. And it can be from either one of our lists. Just has to be one of each, and then we're going to tally up the votes, and we're going to start doing commentary tracks for them, discussing the movie. So it's not a riff tracks thing. I mean, granted, there probably will be some jokes thrown out there.
Oh yeah, especially if we watch like all of the James Bonds, or we watch Commando, or any of the Resident Evils. We'll probably, I don't know. I think they'll all be just us laughing and just hating our lives.
I think the thing that's really going to hurt us the most is RoboCop 3.
Yeah.
Because
samurai sword robots.
I showed that to my friend Daniel, who's been on the podcast a few times before, and when we were done with it, he legitimately told me, he's like, I have the worst headache right now, like you would not believe. I need to go lie down on the couch for a little while. It gave him such a bad headache, and he just had to lie down, man. It's a bad movie, and the remake's coming out. So yeah, go do that. Also, I went to go see Anchorman 2 for Christmas. For Crimbus.
I've been playing Starbound. I like that. It's a good indie game. We're probably going to do a Let's Play soon.
Yeah, we really need to get back on the ball with those. A little bit of an update on that. I sold my capture card because I have the intent of getting a better one. One that can record older consoles a little bit easier. Because, as you know, I got that one game for Christmas, which I forgot to mention, actually. I got an N64 game for Christmas from my friend Brandon, and it's one of my favorite N64 games, if not one of my favorite games of all time, and I would love to LP it sometime, and that is Mystical Ninja for the N64.
It's a gay game. You put your penis in someone's butt.
Doesn't have to be a man. Just makes farts.
No, I wanted to Let's Play either any of the Star Wars Knights of the Republic games or Batman Arkham City, maybe.
Yeah, Batman Arkham City would be a halfway decent one to do. KOTOR is just kind of like...
The best game ever?
No, it's just...
The best game ever.
I don't know what it is about KOTOR. It just seems like it would take a long time.
because it's an RPG.
I know. Are you kidding me? Of all people, me? Like, I could beat the game in 10 hours, maybe?
Well, yeah, because you have mods.
No, I know how to beat the game. Like, I know what you have to do and what you don't have to do to beat the game.
I know I can beat KOTOR 2 in like 5 hours. For sure. KOTOR 2 is a really, really easy game compared to the first one, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, once you get to the end, Jesus Christ. It's like force lightning the whole room and they all die. And you're like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, basically.
And you get to Kreia, and she's kind of difficult, but...
No, she's not. You just have to keep on running away, and while the lightsabers are chasing you, since they're melee weapons, you just electrocute them as you're running,
This is true.
and they die. It's pretty cool, actually. Critical strike every day.
I'm all about that Fury,
crit.
man.
Oh, the flurry attack?
Flurry attack.
Yeah, I'm all about critical strike, man.
Fuck, I don't want to play it.
I'm gonna be raiding the tombs of Exar Kun. On
You got anything else to say? We're in about
4.
an hour and 10.
Yeah, I know. And it's getting
Sorry,
late.
guys.
We've been rambling on for a little too. I think it's because we both did it too tired.
I'm not tired.
I'm tired. I worked today, man. You didn't. I worked an 8-hour shift. 3 to 11, man. Hated every second of it. So yeah, we're just going to go on ahead and end it here. Make sure to check out the PWNcast 1-year anniversary
By end
video.
it, Danny means he's going to kill himself.
Yeah, I'm just going to go over here to the bed, and I'm going to pull out my gun, and I'm going to... Yeah, so, I don't know. I just want to go to bed. What do you guys want from me?
Just makes farts.
It just makes farts. And with that, we bid you good night, good day, good week, good month, good year. 2014 is upon us, and it's going to suck hard for games.
What's your we gotta do our resolutions.
What's my New Year's resolution? Buy a gun to protect myself from you and Vince. No, not really. No, I would really like to. I'd really like to go to cons this year. I just at least one actually. Like go to Gen Con or maybe go to PAX later on in the year or something like that. The only problem is that I wouldn't want to go by myself. I would want to go with people. People like you, Derek.
They cost money though.
Yeah, I know they. Yes. Things cost money. Hi, welcome to capitalism.
Alright, well, yeah, whatever. I'll go to cons too. See you guys.
Alright. Take care.
PWNcast.